everybody, and welcome to FRR, where today it's round 10 of Tier 1, and we are going to be here in Austria. What a track, and what a championship battle we have occurring and stirring up here in this Tier 1 championship. And to lead you with all the statistics and with all the facts going into the race, we have my fellow co-commentator, Josh.
Well, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome. We're back. We are back. It is round 10, sorry, of this Tier 1 Championship. You see us today at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, before we get into what looks to be a rather tasty championship standings, I'm just going to give you a little bit of info about the track we're going to be racing at today. But it is 4.318 kilometers long. It has 7 right-hand turns, 3 left-hand turns, and 2 DRS zones, which obviously will make overtake a little bit easier on the straights. Looking to the driver's standings, now this is where it is tasty. Weeksy leads the drivers' championship by 1 point. Weeksy is currently on 124 in the drivers' standings, with Stocky on 123. 1 place behind him. So, whoever finishes higher than the other in this race will either take the lead championship or keep the lead of the championship, with Top Gun in 3rd place, 26 points behind them. And I think for Top Gun, it's not so much fighting for the lead, it's fighting for that 3rd place in the championship. Well, Ferrari are on top in the constructor standings. They have 144 points this season, with Aston Martin just 15 behind them on 129. And on 127, we have Red Bull. That is your constructor standings, that is your driver standings, and that is the track we are racing on today. It is not a sprint qualifying, so it will be a short qualifying, followed by a 50% race. Boy, am I excited. Harrison, you excited?
Well, I don't know how I could be more excited, to be honest. I am chomping at the bit to
It's a
get into
mouth-watering
this.
prospect.
Yeah. To watch this race is going to be absolutely astonishing because, like you just said, the championship, you go head to head between Weeksy and Stocky, and also Top Gun, which, by the way, he's like I think he said 26 points off of Weeksy for the
Yeah.
top spot. So if he was to level for top spot today, Weeksy Stocky would have to DNF and he would have to win with the fastest lap. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely, and that's the beauty about racing and the beauty about FRR is that everything and anything will happen in this league. And well, we're going to start us off here with the short qualifying. It lasts around 15 minutes, but feels like for some drivers, 20 minutes long. We will see how this qualifying is going to shape up with Elite Risks in the pack now. If you will remember, Elite Risks, just absolutely astonishing on track. Just literally the speed he has in the Mercedes can't go unnoticed. And will he be the dark horse to win today's Austrian Grand Prix here in the Red Bull Ring? And speaking of the constructors, like you previously pointed out as well, the top three, like you pointed out, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Red Bull, are separated by 17 points. So it's all really to play for in this Grand Prix and qualifying. With Weeksy and Stocky being close and the constructors being close, it can never get more high stake. It can possibly be a better script going into what isn't even the last race of the season. We still got 2 more to go after this, I believe, and which is I think Mexico and Abu Dhabi, if I'm not wrong. So we'll see what happens in those 2 races. No, it's
USA and Abu Dhabi.
yeah, USA and Abu Dhabi. I was about to say USA and Abu Dhabi. I thought Mexico for some reason. Well, Mexico and of course USA are quite close, but I tell you who's closer: Weeksy and Stocky. So we will see. We will see what happens out on track today. But your predictions, Josh, for this short qualifying session?
Well. Actually, I was just. Yes, okay, we'll do that first. So, short qualifying. Now, it's one of my first times, so I don't really know all of the driver's strengths. Maybe, I don't know. Weeksy to grab pole. I think Trier will be
We,
up there.
yeah.
Do you think? I think
Trier.
Trier will, well, obviously on an incredible run at the moment with two back-to-back
Mhm.
wins, I believe. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
in tier one, so on a roll at the moment. Could he go for a third today? Who knows? I'm not really qualified to talk about who could grab pole. To be honest with you.
Well, I'm not either, but I am.
Well, you've
I
watched
feel
more races
sort
than
of.
I have this year, so
I also. Well, in terms of skills on track, I'm definitely not anywhere the level of these lads. So Trey's going to be the first person to cross the line to set a lap time. So we'll see where the Alfa Romeo performs for this short qualifying to set the standard here in Austria. As now they make their way around that last turn and across the line, finishing off sector 3. It's going to be a 104.7. That's actually an insane time. Jeez, please. 104.7. Beautiful stuff. There's Karita with a 105.4, just kind of showing the gap that Trier does have in terms of skill to the Williams.
Hmm.
And we've got some more coming across the line, but most noticeable is Weeksy, and he can't get top spot at the moment, but now we have Stocky. He's coming across the line, and he's going to get pole very early on. Overqualifies his rival Weeksy, and that is going to be a great way to get your confidence up going into this short qualifying session. We have some more coming across the line now. Elite Risks just starting his flying lap. Crazy Grief with a 109.6. We've got many more to come here. Ragnar starting their lap as well. So Elite Risks, he's got so much pace, and he has set a purple first sector, showcasing the talents of this man. He is just incredibly quick around any track. Will he be especially quick around this track in particular? The Mercedes now manoeuvring and manipulating his car around the famous turns here in Austria, in Spielberg, in the Red Bull Ring. Let's see what the Silver Arrows can perform in today's Grand Prix, with also Ragnar behind one of the Merc wheels. But I think the star driver out of those two would be Elite Risks. He's just beautiful in qualifying pace, and we're going to see what he can set right now. My oh my, he's so fast. Is he going to showcase it? He will! He will! Elite Risks, 184.5. I mean, that just really sums up Elite Risks as a whole, doesn't it, Josh?
doesn't it? Doesn't it? Just. He is super quick, but is his race pace as good? I think I remember last time. I think his race pace wasn't excellent, so he may put himself on pole. But will he be as
Yeah.
quick in the race? That is a
Well,
question.
indeed. And that's the question with any driver. It's not at you know Elite Risks in particular. But if you can recall, at the very start of the season, when I was, just I guess more inexperienced as a commentator, I watched France and I saw something special from Elite Risks that he won in qualifying. I mean, just out qualifying the rest by a substantial amount, but when he was in the race, he spanned twice, um, which pushed him all the way down the order, which kind of sums up Elite Risks for the first half of the season, but for the second half, it could be a very different story. Top Gun making an outlap, and Hank has Crazy Grief and Joe. Is that Joe? Joe? Is that who? How do you say that, Josh? What do you reckon? I don't know how you say that. It's like
What one? What one are we looking at?
JJ. Um, Aston Martin,
Oh,
seventh.
J. Oh, I don't know.
JJ. I think JJ, right?
Let's just call him JJ for fear of getting banned or something.
Getting banned or something. What are you thinking
Well,
about?
you said ho.
No, I said Joe.
No, no.
It's
Right, we'll have this argument later. I don't know. Just call him JJ. Just call him
we'll
JJ.
call him JJ. So JJ went across the line for P7. He's going to come into the pits right now.
Top Gun's
So
gonna start.
he is, and it starts right at the buzzer. As soon as he said that, so he's third in the championship. He has a chance to be level with Weeksy by the end of what will be a drastic race here in Austria. But is he going to perform of what he needs to do? The standards and
Lap
a hill has
61.
been formed. And it is a purple sector one. Thank you for informing me, Josh. That is an astounding lap just so far. Battling up top with Elite Risks. And is he going to be on top for this Grand Prix? Is now, I think, just a little bit of a mistake there into the next turn. A little bit of
Lock
wheel
up
spin
and a
coming
little
on
bit
the
of a
end of
wobble at
it.
the end there.
Yeah, indeed. Razagame HD, the other Ferrari man, has just joined us here in the lobby, and will Top Gun join Elite Risks and Stocky and Treya here for top spots in Austria, as now he will go round the last few turns in Sector 3. What is Top Gun going to perform? A little bit of spin, maybe just a little bit too much curb there. Now he'll come across the line. What's he going to get? He's going to get a 105.1. Not what we expect from Top Gun. He
Wow.
had a
Okay.
really, yeah, 8.
That sector
Yeah,
2 may have messed him up because there was yellow flags just before he approached.
Yeah.
Which I think
I mean,
might
there was
have.
purple first sector was definitely not bad at all.
It's really good. But I
But
mean,
I don't know
the
what it
rest of
was.
that must have been dreadful.
Yeah, it must have been. But we did see a little bit of a few mistakes, and when I can see mistakes as a horrible driver as I am, that's when you know that there is indeed some
Yes.
mistakes being made on the track.
Mm.
So Stocky will go on to his flying lap. We'll go on board with him. He is battling with Elite Risk once again. We saw this Abu Dhabi last season, the last race of that season. The championship was already settled there for Stocky that time round. He could settle it in the next few races. He will have to be on top of his game there, as Weeksy is always just lurking behind. Speaking of Weeksy, P5 currently right now. He will be looking to improve on that. No purple first sector though for Stocky, as he now goes into Sector 2 on this flying lap. Yet again, another yellow flag's being thrown here in Sector 2. It's a orange McLaren going slow, but the red of Ferrari still coursing through this track and making sure every turn he is able to lose as much time as possible. In terms of just speed, really, that's what I mean. I mean, gain much time, just, yeah. See, oh, you can see there, Stocky, big mistake on that curb. A little bit similar to what we saw, similar to, what was it, Top Gun, just that mistake right there. Treya on a lap now, Elite Risks on an out lap, and a purple flare sector for Treya, 400ths. We're still getting used to this. 400ths of his previous previous time, Treya, and not treat, like he said in Netherlands, if you can recall that one.
Don't know what you're on about.
But
it's only once.
But it was okay. It's only once. Make sure not to do it. This. Oh my word! This lap's gonna be insane. Treya with a purple second sector. This is looking special. Is it going to be special? As now round the last turn, he will come across the line. Is it provisional pole here for the Alfa Romeo? It is. Astounding lap by Treya, just about beating Elite Risk by the minimalists of margins, and Elite Risk is starting his flying lap, I believe. I don't know why he's going slow though.
I honestly, I may have said this in the last race, but I honestly think Treya could win the rest of the races. I honestly think the championship could just be decided through the next 3 podiums, because I just can't see either, you know, Stocky or Weeksy winning another race. He's just so quick, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he joined very late on in the season. I think it was Hungary that he joined, so not that many rounds ago. Round 8 actually, so very recently. This is round 10. So the pace that they've got inside of that Alfa Romeo is just astonishing. It really is something that all of us should be looking out for. That will be including Stocky and Weeksy. Gamer HD, by the way, he recently joined, and he has joined with both the Aston Martins in P7, and Top Gun looking to improve. Oh, purple first sector there for Top Gun once more. Top Gun, let's see if we have another stinker of this second sector. He's going to have another go here. Is Top Gun going to put in another stonking lap? We usually see it from the Red Bull, obviously here Red Bull, the organisation's home race, Red Bull Ring, as they call it here. Elite risks just. Oh no, it's actually JJ dethroning Stocky of that P3, and JJ moves up the order. So does Henkaz slipping into P5. Where's Top Gun going to find himself? Where's he going to place this Red Bull on this grid? Round the last turn, across the line. What's he going to get? E7. Really tough session so far for Top Gun.
It is, and it is very tight from there on in, really. I mean, Pole is a 104.5, and Crazy Griefer in 6th. Just one place ahead of Top Gun is a 104.7. So there really isn't
Yeah.
a lot in it between the top 7, I'd say. 3/10 sort of, roughly, is the word. So it's a very tight field. You know,
Elite
it's
risks, by the way.
disappointing.
Just he came across the line. He did improve on his previous lap, but of course, not pushing himself up into P1.
Yeah, 10
did improve
10
on
one thousandths of a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot, but nevertheless,
Every little helps.
still improved on it. Yeah, every little helps. Don't you worry about it. JJ coming into the pits now after putting in a really good lap. This is the first time I've seen JJ on track, and well, he's overqualified the previous championship winner, which is of course Stocky. So Top Gun here coming into the pits. Most people coming into the pits. Carito still out on track. He's not having a good lap, and so is Brad. Spinning, twisting, and turning in the types of places where you don't want to see it from. And Brad in that first turn just slips and turns, and well, he's gonna have really warm rubber going into the rest of it. And FGE does the exact same.
Just caught that one.
Yeah, really not what you want to see from most of these drivers. Hincas, by the way, had an invalid lap time when he came into the pits, so maybe he's having a little bit of struggles. Elite risk coming into the pits. Literally everyone synchronising coming into the pits except for Brad. No, FGE is in the pits now. It's only Brad competing on, and then everyone's in the pits. But what is your take so far in this qualifying session, Josh?
Well, I've never seen JJ before, so he's put in a good lap. He's put himself right in the mix there. About 30 thousandths of a second. No.
Yeah.
Many 60 thousandths of a second off pole position or whatever it is. So he's put himself right in the mix. Top Gun though, you know, down in P7, not where we would normally see. Obviously Top Gun in a qualification, and Weeksy as well. Obviously he will want to progress himself up the field, because, like we said, that 1 point in the championship is a mouth-watering prospect for us, but it's probably quite a nerve-wracking time for Weeksy. So the higher the position he can secure himself, the better it will be.
Yeah, and well, for recap, by the way, when we were recording it, by the way, go listen to Front Row Racing F1. Same username on our YouTube as it is our Twitch. So you should have no troubles finding us, and when you do, subscribe to us, get caught up on all the daily F1 22 races that we put out on the platform. But like I was saying before, FRR recap. I mean, I told Moser at the after recording it, he's like, "Oh, and Stocky will probably get the championship wrapped up in the next race." And I said to him, "You do realise that they're 1 point between each other, right?" And he was like, "Nah, you're joking. I don't believe that. I don't believe it." And then he goes, checks the standings, sees that Weeks' 1 point ahead of Stocky, and he's absolutely shocked by it. He couldn't believe his eyes. Nor can we, to be honest, because the battles between Weeksy and Stocky this season have been so tight. It's really great battling all year round from these two, and surely we'll see it again from them in not only this race but the next few. Why have you just said a sound effect? What has happened?
Elite has messed up his first turn on his his final flying lap. Well, he might be able to make it across the line actually, but he's on the softs and he has just messed up his lap. So this is a whole extra lap he's doing on soft tyres that really only like 1 lap. So that's not good for Elite Risks.
Indeed. I mean, Elite Risk going to have to stick with that 04.5. It's definitely not a bad time at all.
But Tria,
it could definitely be beaten. Oh, isn't it? Top Gun made a massive mistake, by the way. Into the same time we've seen him make mistakes way around. A massive lockup he had in there. But Tria, like you said, having an absolutely beautiful lap so far, and we are lucky to witness it. Tria going to come around these tricky turns here in Sector 2. Is or are they going to be able to master them brilliantly? Oh my word, a purple second sector as well. This is surely an improvement on his previous pole lap. Tria going to come round the last two turns. The Alfa Romeo has been on top so far in this qualifying session. And can they improve on their previous pole time across the line? Will they? They will by 8 hundredths of a second. Brilliant from Tria. And like we said, Elite Risk probably not going to get there. JJ has got an invalid lap time. Stocky improving on his lap by only 100ths. We'll see if he can be able to
Purple
improve
sector
even
1 for
more
elite.
on this. Is it?
Purple sector
My
1
oh
for
my.
elite risks. He made it
This
across
is
the line.
looking spicy. I didn't realize he made it across the line. I thought that was going to be his final lap, and that with Tria
So did
improving, I
I.
thought it was game over. But Elite Risks proving that he, when everything could be done and dusted, or so it may seem, in even qualifying, he can still put in a potential masterclass, but oh, he's just losing time in Sector 2. He's really going to have to give it his all in these last few turns, which are so crucial to a good lap. You can see a Red Bull going slow. I think that's Top Gun. Round the last turn here for Elite Risks. Is he going to be able to get Paul? Henkas P2, by the way, I didn't even notice it. And Elite Risks takes P2 back with an
Oh, it's
improvement
so
of
close.
1/10.
Three
Oh my
thousandths of a
word!
second.
Elite Risks and Tria.
Wow.
That is
Henkaz with a late arrival. Wow.
really, I mean,
Oh,
that is.
JJ just
I mean, I didn't
crashes.
even notice Henkas. From high to lows, but definitely a high for Henkaz. Elite Risk maybe was wanting that pole position. Him and Tria going head to head. Maybe those two are going to be the championship battlers, or they'll duel back to back to back for the championship next season. Young prospects, and they are sure to improve on their skills, and we'll be able to see some great more racing content from them. But Weeksy as well. We haven't really mentioned him so far in this qualifying session because he really hasn't stuck out to us. P7 as he goes into this Grand Prix. I mean, Top Gun is right ahead of him, and so is Stocky ahead of Top Gun. So, really, the top three in the championship are P5, P6, and P7 going into this Austrian Grand Prix. And to sum up all of what's happened in short qualifying with all the drama, this is how it went down. Tria got pole once again in the Alfa Romeo with a 104.4, and Elite Risks 2 thousandths off the time of Tria. I mean, that is so close for Top Sport. I can't believe my eyes. They might as well have drawn in time by the end of that qualifying session. But Henkas stuck into P2, but had to fall back down to P3 after Elite Risks finished his time. But further down the grid we have JJ in P4, Stocky in P5, Top Gun in P6, Wixie P7, Razagamer HD P8, Kirita P9, Brad P10, Ragga P11, Scruffy Dove P12, FGE P13, and Crazy Griefer P14. So, what is your predictions for the Austrian Grand Prix?
Tria dub. Tria dub. I can only see that. I think Henkaz might be
Henkas.
snitching a sneaky little P2. Um,
What's your
ooh,
prediction for Elite Risks then? Because Elite Risks obviously P2, so
ooh,
what's going to happen to him?
don't know. Maybe a fourth. I think Top Gun will get third. I've got crazy predictions.
Okay.
I think Tria will get first, Henkaz second, and Top Gun
Top
third.
Gun third. I think it's going to be a stocky win. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
P5. I think he's going to win in P1, which of course he would re-overtake in the standings for P1. I think Weeksy's going to have a little bit of a stinker, to be honest. I think all the hype around him might just crumble, which is I personally don't want to see that because I want to see this battle so close to each other going through into Kota and then on into Abu Dhabi, our final race of the season. So really, I want this battle to keep alive, but I don't think Weeksy will be able to do it. Moser did warn me though that Weeksy's very fast around Austria. Didn't really prove that in qualifying though. But we will have to see in the actual Grand Prix itself. I really do want Weeksy to perform well. Maybe he'll sneak into P2, but yeah, I just don't know with him. Actually, I feel like I'm disrespecting him too much, to be honest. I don't know what it is. I'm disrespecting him way too much here. But with all the predictions and everything, we are going to run you down into who's starting on who. What tyre are they going to all be starting on, basically? From P8 to a P11, so that includes Razagame HD, Karito, Brad, and Ragnar. They're all going to be on the mediums, but everyone else in the grid, they're going to be on the hards. And of course, the drivers that we should probably highlight the most into who's going to be on the hards. Tria, Elite Risks, Stocky, Top Gun, and Weeksy. So they're going to be all on the hards. They're going to be all on the same strategy. In this Austrian Grand Prix, we've set our predictions. We have seen the qualifying. It's now time to see the main event. My oh my, isn't this going to be a good one, Josh?
It better be. It better be a good one.
It better be.
Interesting that we've got 4 drivers going on the medium, so obviously different strategies there. Maybe trying to get up the field early on in the Grand Prix. Who knows? It is all to see, and it's going to happen right before your very eyes. In the words of Harrison, it's only live once.
You didn't finish it again. You didn't even finish it again. It's only live once on Twitch. The on Twitch is the most key part of that because it tells you that you should.
Yeah, but people know it's on. People know it's on Twitch because they've gone onto Twitch to see this.
Still. Yeah, but people on YouTube.
No one. Okay. No one watches this on YouTube. Doesn't go out on YouTube, does it?
Does go out on YouTube. These races do go out on YouTube. Anyway.
Fair enough.
With the confusion of this man trying to steal my lines once more. How dare you? I pity you. We're gonna start us off here in Austria. I have a good camera angle. Do you have a good camera angle? Josh has now 5 red lights. Green lights, go, go, go. Here for the Austrian Grand Prix as we start to see the drivers manipulating their cars into the first turn. We see Elite Risks instantly taking P1, trying to get away. Oh, big drama. Big drama, what's going on there? Razagame HD slips, everyone's slipping left, right and centre. We see a Williams and a McLaren both spinning at the same time. That's Brad and Dorito. Top Gun's falling down the order. So is Stocky. Stocky's falling down into P10. Top Gun into P11. And JJ and Crazy Grief are both going at it here. And JJ was just pushed off. And now he's been overtaken by both the Haas cars. He's now slipping all over the place. Early on in this Grand Prix, we've got some spins early on. But Elite Risks instantly taking P1 in the Austrian Grand Prix with a moment's notice. And now we see Razagame HD spinning, going wide off track. Not what you want to see from the Ferraris as they're trying to keep their lead on the Constructors' Championship. Razagame HD, 10 seconds time penalty for that. My wasn't that a time penalty and a half. And Stocky's overtaken JJ falling down the order, sorry. Here's Crazy Griefer looking to go for an overtake on FGE very soon. But I don't think he's going to be able to perform it just yet. We'll have to see on the straights. But what a race so far.
Yeah, chaotic. The midfield had a bit of a scrap. And I think Ranga definitely won from that. I mean, he's up here to P4. So, maybe Ranga.
Oh, actually,
the
I'd
Red
like to
Sea.
tell you who really, really won for that. Weeksy. P3
Yes,
compared to his championship rival Stocky in P8. So he's having an absolute beauty so far. But is Tria going to get an overtake on Elite Risks? You can see the gap between the two just crushing down, just disintegrating at every single turn. These two are going to go back to back to back so much here in the Austrian Grand Prix in Spielberg, I believe it is. FGE with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not what you want to see there from the Alpine, I believe it is. He's driving the Alpine today. He is. And you can see Elite Risks still trying to keep this gap to a trio. You can see Trio just falling off in the third sector. We saw the second sector getting very, very close to the Mercedes up top, but maybe, just maybe, the Elite Risk will hang in there. You can just see the gap between Crazy Reefer and FGE slipping down, but it doesn't really matter that much. Weeksy taking fastest lap very early on, but Crazy Reefer takes it right away from Weeksy's hands. Elite Risks, though, he started P2, he's now up top, and now we'll see Stocky look to move up the orders. Now he's trying to manoeuvre around Scruffy's up here onto the straight. He's got the better speed, he's got the slipstream. He goes to the left-hand side of the Haas car, And I mean, the Haskell just has to wave the Ferrari goodbye. Nothing Scruff can really do there. Stocky with a better exit. Stocky up into P7. So let's see how the rest of this race is going to pan out. Sorry, with Brad coming into the pits, we saw also Top Gun coming into the pits as well very early on. So a lot of drama happening, and many, many more to come in the upcoming 34 laps. My oh my, Josh. What's your take on the start?
Well, I think my prediction's pretty much in the bin now, isn't it? I think my second place is in 10th and my third is in 11th. So, that's the way the world works, people. Commentator's curse, once again.
Let's hope we don't get any more of that, because we got that a ton, of course. Flashbacks for poor Anthony.
Oh,
Of course.
poor
I don't think
Anthony. Who's not here today?
yeah,
He's not showed up.
he's not. He's not
Wonder
in here
why.
today. I was gonna say.
Maybe he was just a
He's
reserve.
already just said, I'll bin it off.
Yeah, sod it. These guys are awful.
Crazy Griefer now going to look for a move potentially on FGE. No, has to stay. Well, he could have definitely went for the move. I mean, it would have been very risky. We could have definitely gone for it. It's Nakarito looking for an overtake here on Brad. Maybe these two will collide once more. JJ taking the fastest lap on the Grand Prix, but Top Gun instantly gets it back. Ragnar still trying to catch up over to Weeksy. Weeksy with a 2-second gap to Tria, but that doesn't necessarily matter as long as he keeps Stocky behind him in the grid order. Then that's all that matters going into the next few races. These points could be so crucial for the Aston Martin man.
Yes, indeed, they really could. Every point counts in this championship. With the 1 point, if there was a bigger gap, then maybe you could afford the odd mistake. But honestly, Weeksy cannot afford to slip up. And with Stocky down in P7 at the moment, this is working beautifully in Weeksy's favour. But he has got Ranga chasing him down.
It's got Ragnar plenty in company, and Carito and Brad were plenty in company with each other. And if you saw that, eventually, Ragnar now looking for a move on Weeks, looking to go around the outside. The Mercedes looking for the move on the Aston Martin, and I think he's going to be able to get it onto the straight. He's got the DRS just before that detection point, and now here's Weeksy. Maybe he'll look for the move here. He's going to look for a switchback maneuver here. Weeksy, can he get a better exit? I don't think he will. The Aston Martin forced to stay behind here to Ragnar. Ragnar makes the move up into P4, but still Weeksy looking to fight back, but I think he just has to settle down for the moment. Ragnar overtakes Weeksy.
Yes, indeed. And what a move it was as well. Very nice, very calm. And he played him like a fiddle with the DRS there. I must admit, that was a smart play from Ranga there. Not Ragga. Ranga.
Well, maybe it'll be a smart play for Weeksy. You don't call me out on that. Maybe it'll be a smart play for Weeksy. Now he will, of course, be given DRS into the second turn, actually, I should rather say, not first turn. Weeksy now onto the straight. He's going to get DRS. I don't think he's going to catch up too much, though, to Ragnar. He's going to look for a move. Definitely not. So he's just going to have to stay behind in P4, but Stocky stood stuck in P7. He's just having a little bit of a alone time right now. He's got FGE in front. He would still be P6 come the end of this race because of FGE, of course, with those 3 seconds. Weeksy's left the session. Oh, my word. Someone invite this man back.
Weeksy's disconnected.
Would someone invite this man back?
You do
I'm going
it.
to try and invite him as soon as I can. I can't. Oh, God. Someone invite the man back, please. We don't want to see this. Oh, God, this is horrible. So, disconnection for Weeksy. Is it going to be crucial here in the Austrian Grand Prix?
Well, we'll see. I'm just going to try and get him back in, people. I'm sure you can appreciate the...
I've already invited him. I think we're fine.
Oh, have you?
But Crazy Griefer now looking to get the overtake. I mean, of course, he's going to be like a sitting duck there, Weeksy. Please, God, no. We don't want to see this.
No, but Stocky will be... Oh, he's back.
Weeksy's
okay.
joined,
Weeksy has rejoined. Rejoice, Weeksy has
he's
rejoined, but it does
right
now put them...
Sorry.
P7.
Yeah, I was going to say he's joined right back at the time. Right in front of Stocky. Sorry that I did something so foolish there in my commentary. Just completely cut you off while you were perfectly in the right to talk. I do apologise for that, but... I think the Wi-Fi has to apologise to Weeksy for the slip-up. Weeksy's done everything right, in the qualifying sessions in the Grand Prix. It's just his Wi-Fi that's letting him down. Of course, Weeksy would still be P5 and Stocky would still be P7. It's just a matter of if or when Stocky can get an overtake on Weeksy. It's just really these two going to just absolutely have a beautiful scrap. I mean, it's something to keep our eye on. Maybe the disconnection is great fortune in terms of entertainment, in terms of course, battling. But now I'll focus on the top spot, which is currently held by Elite Risks. Of course, short qualifying, he qualified P2. He got P1 in, early sections of that qualifying stint. But eventually, Tria showed their pace around the track, and it proved to be supreme to Elite Risk's time, but by only those 2 thousandths. But into this Grand Prix, he is having 6 tenths away from Tria behind. Elite Risk had the overtake on the inside into the first turn instantly. The aggressive start that he desperately needed to get back towards the top spots. And, well, from there on, it's just kind of been a cruise for him. You can see Crazy Griefer right now getting closer to Ragnar, but the main thing to point out from this 8th lap is that Elite Risks is dominating this race so far.
Yes, indeed, and Ranga spins.
Oh!
He has spun. I just caught that at the corner of my eye, so that does bring crazy. I was just about to talk about what an interesting battle we've got for third place incoming. But I guess that's pretty quickly settled. So there is still a big battle. P3, P4, P5 and P6. They're all very close to each other, all in DRS range of each other. So Crazy Griefer will want to get away from this DRS train as quickly as he can. But
Ragnar.
it does not mean that the next few laps are very difficult for him.
Indeed, and Ragnar also in the pits from that spin, so I think just a bit front wing off of his car there, not what you want to see from the Mercedes. Speaking of Mercedes and teams, the I'm so sorry, constructors, in terms of the constructors, this race so far, Aston Martin would claim top spot. Here, I believe so anyways, just a few points off of the top spot, which is currently held by Ferrari, but Ferrari P6 and P4.
Well,
He's DNF as a gamer, hasn't he?
Has, but he's DNF'd in the pits, which is quite good. But it looks like his AI is driving out onto track.
Yeah. But by the way, if you guys are wanting to retire from the race for whatever reason, do it in the pits. We don't want to see a safety car be brought out because you're too lazy to finish the race.
To be fair, he DNF'd
if you
in
want
the
to
pits.
DNF,
To be fair to him.
yeah, I said, I said fair play to him because he DNF'd in the pits. So, if you do want to retire, or maybe you have to come off for something important, just please do it in the pits. No one wants to see a safety car being brought out.
If your AI drives onto the track, we've got proof that you weren't actually driving at the time. So it's all good. It's all good. But the midfield battle is getting close. FGE very close to Crazy Griefer now.
Yeah, I mean Crazy Griefer's gonna be hunted down by FGE and of course Weeksy. The gap between Stocky and Weeksy now just building up a tiny bit. As Stocky's without DRS 2 weeks. Maybe he'll just get back into DRS range in these upcoming laps. But Stocky just not quite as on pace for Weeksy there, really. It's just really the Wi-Fi router that's given him the opportunity to even get past.
You're a big fan of the Wi-Fi, aren't you?
I mean, I can relate to Weeksy because my Wi-Fi is equally as horrible. Why do you think my Xbox turned off twice when we tried to commentate?
Because your Xbox is really old. That's probably why.
So is yours, but yours didn't. That didn't happen for yours.
It's because I look after mine and I regularly clean the fan.
Yes, and I look after mine as well. I also regularly clean it. Anyways, is Weeksy going to clean sweep? FGE here down the inside. He might look to go. No, he's going to bait it. And there you go. The Alpine went defensive. Weeksy goes to the attacking mode. Weeksy trying to go for the overtake. He cannot just yet. Has to sit behind FGE. It's not a person he really wants to sit behind because, of course, FGE with the time penalty.
Exactly.
And it just would help him a turn if he just could get past the Alpine. But right now, he just has to sit and wait by only 1/10.
Once you get past Crazy Griefer.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets past Crazy Griefer, that's really the type of area he wants to be at here. Now he's going to look for the move on the Alpine. He goes to the inside of FGE here, maybe into the next. And is there going to be any drama between the two? No, FGE going for a switchback maneuver here. Oh my, could he pull it off here? Down the inside. Oh! Weeksy was very lucky that he didn't also turn with FGE there. My oh my, Weeksy just getting dove down the inside by FGE. Was it the smart move, Josh? Oh, that wasn't the smart move.
That was close.
That was
That was
not a
close.
smart
Well,
move.
it was good racing. Maybe Weeksy could have given. I mean, that turn isn't really the sort of one you'd think of to make an
Josh,
overtake.
did you not see that Weeksy's got 3 seconds?
Weeksy has 3 seconds in this race. Now that is huge. Save yourself from that one.
Yeah, I shouted out, and that's not a good move because I thought you were going to pick up on the fact that he had 3 seconds.
It's a Monday and I'm not very vigilant.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Ooh,
Ooh,
and it seemed maybe now there's a little bit of grip on those hard tyres, but that is awful now. That gives Stocky the aces. Stocky now holds the aces in this race.
And he's also top of the leaderboard at the top of the league technically. At the moment, FGE not having a very good race, just having a stinker really. To sum it up, get penalties handed to him left, right, and centre. Crazy Griefer, by the way, surprising P3, would you say?
Definitely, I didn't see it, but was he part of the fortune of the midfield crash at the beginning? He was.
I think he was.
Yeah, he must have been. I know the Hasses definitely lined up next to each other. So you know, he may have made up his positions through the crash, but either way, he'll be very happy with a P3, and of course, he is holding back the 2 championship contenders, although their pace seems to have dropped a little bit, as it looks like Stocky is gaining massively now on Weeksy.
It is, and Weeksy is just losing time to Crazy Griefer himself. Really, what Weeksy has to try and prey on is that Stocky gets in 3 seconds as well. Then it would make it even Stevens between the two. So is Stocky going to make a crucial mistake which will lead into a 3 seconds? So far, no. He's just having a good drive out in Austria. It's a bit of a shame that we can't see how many warnings the driver has gotten, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. You can't really go onto the race director in the race. Looks like Ranger's had a spin at the back of the pack there.
He has. Thank you for picking that one out. Over here, Stocky. Let's go round the outside here. Off Weeksy into turn 2. He's got a better exit. I think he's got it done and dusted. He has. Weeksy waves the Ferrari by. And now Stocky is just having a little bit more of points. Of course, at the end of this race, if it is to continue this way, and if it is going to be P4 for Stocky, he will claim P1 in the standings back. That's a huge overtake from Stocky. Stocky P4.
Yes, and now he can begin his hot pursuit of Crazy Griefer just to really, really guarantee him some more points. But that is a huge move for Stocky. But we're only, well, I say we're only on lap 15, that's gone pretty quickly. We are on lap 15 of this race. It can all change, but now Weeksy has the advantage with that DRS going down the main straight and now into the next one, but he does have that 3 second time penalty looming over him, so he would need to have some incredible race pace to try and claw out a 3 second gap.
And I think he's looking to go for a switch back here on Stocky. I just think he's a little bit too close to Stocky to even think of that. Really, and yeah, he's got better speed on the exit though. He's going to go for a dive into the next turn. I think he will. He kind of has to down the inside. He goes on Stocky. These two wheel to wheel on the exit of the turn. Still the Red Bull. The Ferrari. I don't know how I said Red Bull there. The Ferrari still staying behind. Can he get back in front? Stocky, I don't think he is into the next few turns, though. These are so crucial. Weeksy for now has the overtake, but will Stocky claim it back here? Now into the last 2 turns of lap 15. So many drama, so much drama happening so far. Many to come, and now we can see Stocky. Maybe he'll go for the exact same move as, of course, Weeksy did into the towards the second turn. It's a great manoeuvre by Weeksy. Was able to dive down the inside, got a better exit, and Stocky had to just stay behind. But will he stay behind here? He's got DRS open. He's just gone under 1/10 here. 2/10 into the last 2 turns. He's got 2 tenths. 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 He's got into the second turn, down the inside. He looks to go on Weeksy. Weeksy with a potential switchback maneuver. He is going to look for it. Has he got the better exit? I don't think he has. Weeksy staying behind just for now. Now he's gaining on Stocky once more. Down the inside, could he look to go once more here? No. Around the outside potentially. No, another switchback maneuver attempt. 4 weeks. Is he going to get it done and dusted this time? Is he going to have the better exit? Ragnar with a 3-second time penalty. Weeksy, though, still having to stay behind, but still so close to Stocky. These two going head to head. It would just be a little bit more exciting if Weeksy didn't have those 3 seconds, but maybe as a result of this battling, Stocky will get a 3 seconds for a mistake between the two. So maybe this battling will end up in the fortune of Weeksy. Maybe there's going to be a huge crash, or just maybe is Stocky going to get the lead back into the championship.
Yes, indeed. And whilst all this was happening, FGE had a little bit of a spin in Sector 2. He now drops to being at about 6 seconds behind Weeksy. So P5 would be Weeksy's if the 6-second gap was to stay like this. Now, I don't really think FGE had too much race pace. I think he was sat in the DRS comfortably of Weeksy. So that's one thing. But really, should Weeksy really be putting this much effort into it? Because the only reason you'd put this much effort in is if you knew you could pull the 3-second gap. But I don't think he can. I think Stocky just has that little bit more, pace, that more race advantage. Who knows?
I see what you mean, but I feel like Weeksy, what if he's supposed to just, what is he supposed to do? Just stop driving and just let Stocky go ahead?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, this is a fight that's been going on for a couple of laps now, and Weeksy's been putting a lot of effort into it and a lot of tyre into it. If he wasn't as surely if he knew he could make up that 3-second gap, then he would be as confident as he is being. But if he wasn't confident that he could make up that 3-second gap, would he go put as much effort into it as he is?
This is going to be close. I'm sorry, but just the second turn there, Weeksy was getting so close with the DRS open. He's looking for a better exit. Is he going to get a better exit? Trying to make those 3/10 disintegrate in front of his eyes, but unfortunately for him, he's not quite going to be able to do it. Mostly these overtakes between the two has been happening in Sector 1. Nowhere really in Sector 2 or Sector 3 have they really gone head to head. So maybe new territory for battling will be used soon. But back to what you were saying, Josh?
Yeah, so I personally think maybe Weeksy should just hold off for a little bit. See if Stocky will make a mistake. I mean, he's going quite wide here and there, so it is not a wild possibility that he could get a 3 second. I don't know really. Maybe Weeksy should think about maybe preserving his tyres a little bit, but still staying close, but not fighting as much. But yet again, it is that championship at stake. But it does look like they are gaining a little bit of time on Crazy Griefer.
It is. I mean, it was 2.8 when Stocky took P4. Now it's 2.1. So maybe Crazy Grief is going to be in the midst of this. So maybe then will we get some action. But we're going to get some action right now as Weeksy's looking for another move here on Stocky. These two going to head once more. Stocky looking for that up and under. Is he going to be able to get it? He is. Just for now. Is Weeksy going to come back at him though? I don't think he will. I think he just has to stay behind. Great up and under move. A switchback move from Stocky. He's able to put himself back up into P4. Some great racing between the two, and it's still carrying on. 4 laps later, started lap 15. It's now lap 20 technically. This is just what we're all about here in FRR.
It is indeed. And actually, one weakness Weeksy does have is just coming off the long, not the main straight, but the second long straight. As he goes into that turn, that right-hander, that sharp right-hander at the top of this hill, he never seems to get a very good exit, and therefore he does lose a lot of time on the back straight, which is time he then has to regain, as it looks like Tria has massively fallen down the packet, ice pitted. Tria has pitted.
Top coming 3 seconds as well, so
that corner there, that's where Weeksy's disadvantages, I think he loses a lot of time, can't get as good as exit.
Yeah. Perfect analysis from my co-commentator, because right there, you that's why you're on the job. Otherwise you'd be sacked already. But But no, it was at the
Wow.
perfect time you said that because Weeksy on the exit of that turn, he did, in fact, lose quite a bit of time to Stocky, and now that gap of around 2/10 has now fallen down to 5/10, and Crazy Griefer picks up 3 seconds, but Weeksy and Stocky, Weeksy lacking behind.
Stocky pits. It looks like Stocky is going to pit. He is the
Mm.
first to come into the pits out of Weeksy and Stocky. So who knows? What tyre will he be going into? I guess he'll be going onto the mediums, which it looks like he is. Yes, the team at Maranello are putting the medium tyres on the car, although they were already on there apparently. Oh, this game, this game, this game.
um, but I think Weeksy might be able to get the overcut on Stocky. He's not been necessarily fast after the disconnect, of course, but I still think he will be able to get the overtake. Just the tiniest bit of amount. So it's not like he's gonna jump him by 3 seconds, and all of a sudden this penalty doesn't even matter anymore. But I do think he's just about gonna get the slight edge between the two. Surely he'll come into the pit at the end of this lap. If he doesn't, then he's gonna go for softs at the end, which would be a stupid idea, in my opinion. And I'm sure you feel the same way. So we'll see if Weeksy can do. Or is going to do in what we have predicted as Scruffy Dub's looking to battle there with Top Gun. Scruffy Dub on the inside. There he goes on the exit. Who's going to have the better exit? It looks like it's oh!
DNF, and that could be a safety car.
Is it? It is. Ooh,
We now
that's
have a
not good
safety
for Weeksy.
Oh, Weeksy's had
That
a
is
Weeksy.
not
I've
good
just
for
realised. Weeksy has had a mare here. So Weeksy coming out of the pits with Stocky right behind him. Oh, Weeksy will be furious, absolutely furious.
Well, no,
With,
Weeksy. Hold on. He did
with
technically get
that.
the overcut. He did technically get the
Technically,
overcut.
yes, but what he's now got is in my eyes, a much quicker Ferrari behind him. He does have the 3 second
Yeah.
time penalty, Weeksy. So Weeksy is going to have the race of his life if he wants to try and keep Stocky at bay.
Yeah,
But,
and that crash with Scruff. I mean, it was just putting on the throttle way too early there, Scruff. I mean, clear as daylight, no connection with Top Gun and him. Just straight into this wall right here. If you were looking at Stocky, just when he passed that
Weeksy.
turn, that's where he went. Yeah, where right there, just went straight into the wall and crashed out. I mean, I did a Gary Neville and I went ooh because
I do that. That's
it
my
was.
job.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very very big crash. Sorry. I mean, if you took that one in real life, you wouldn't be escaping it without any damage to your body. I mean, really, really painful one. And, well, now people are catching up to safety car. Elite Risk's going to be here just behind the safety car. Of course, Tria following behind, and you can see Henkaz pitting there for the McLaren Racing team. Tria, I don't know if on the exit of this Tria is going to be able... I don't know, because Tria has been just lacking a little bit behind Elite Risks ever since Elite Risks took P1. But with the restart of the safety car, maybe Tria will do the unexpected and could get this first place position back. What do you reckon? Oh, did you see that?
Ooh, yes, I did, and that would probably mean penalty for Elite Risks. There was contact there with the safety car, a little bit of argy-bargy. Mercedes and Aston Martin maybe not as good as friends as we're all led to believe. But he did lose an end plate. He did lose an end plate. I did see that. So I think that penalty will probably be applied after the safety car period, which will be a 5 second.
Yeah.
So, well, that massively shapes up the grid, and it would technically put Stocky in P2 with Trier in P1, as FGE picks up a penalty. Yeah, and Elite Risks is going to pit.
Yeah, fair enough.
But if he has a penalty, then he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Elite Risks. You know, his ability in qualifying doesn't go unnoticed, and well, it deserves to be talked about because that pace is insane. But
Ridiculous.
we said, yeah, like unbelievable. What we said that Elite Risks in terms of race, he hasn't had as good of luck, and that just goes to show it. I mean, that's the most weirdest way, I could say, you could lose your front wing just by putting it into the safety car. Um, so, really poor from Elite Risks. And, well, he's going to have a mountain to climb if he is to get that P1 back.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. But it is one of those freak accidents. But you know, if he's working with what's it called, lockups on, and you know that could have just been a lockup that made him go into the safety car. Who knows? It could just be one of those freak accidents. But unfortunately, if we are correct and you do get a penalty for that, which I'm 99% sure you do, you know, that has sort of fluffed his race, and also that's going to hurt Mercedes.
It really is. I mean, they're not in the top three in the constructors. Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Red Bull are. But yeah, Merc. I was expecting them to really do well at the start of the season because Elite Risks, elite spur on the wheel. I'm so hilarious.
There we go. That's the first one.
That's the first one of the day.
We milked it last week, and we're going to do it now again.
I mean, we kind of have to under the safety car, really. There's nothing else really to talk about. I mean, there is a lot of drama in this race. But when the safety car comes out, it kind of slows down the pace and we finally get a breather as commentators. Well, I certainly do. You haven't really talked as much compared to other Grand Prix. I think I've just been spewing so much.
Well, I am the co-commentator here. My job is to just fill in the gaps when you don't talk. But tomorrow, for the Tier 2 race, I will be there. And I will be waffling on. Because I'm lead commentator tomorrow. Yes.
If you don't know already, I'm star commentator for Tier 1. And then Josh switches around with me. So he's the star commentator of Tier 2. That's just how we do it, so it's fair for both of us. Really. And I think that's
and I run the streams.
Really nice.
And I run the streams.
Yes,
so if you ever hear Harrison talking about a fight and you're not seeing it, I can only apologise. I do try and get there as quick as I can. As safety car will come in this lap. But sometimes it is quite difficult. So I can only apologise for that. But I'm going to hand back over to your lead commentator, who's going to get the safety car restart underway.
Thank you very much, Josh.
You're
welcome. Well, the safety car is what's coming in. And Tria going to keep P1 no matter what happens, unless they somehow spin off of the restart, which I don't know how you could possibly do that. But Tria leads the way. What kind of drama is going to be plugged in to the restart of this safety car as Tria manipulating the pace through each and every driver who is following behind them, and now across the last two turns, I think they've just gone green. Yeah, just really just putting on the throttle now. Crazy Griefer just following behind. You can see Stocky, that gap between him and Weeksy kind of expanding a little bit. Elite Risks instantly looking for an overtake potentially. On Top Gun, no move is going to be formed there. Top Gun just staying ahead, but moving on to the top spots. We do, of course, have... Oh, no, we go back straight to Elite Risks. Elite Risks looking for that overtake on Top Gun. Round the outside, he's looking to go of the Red Bull. Oh, you can see the Williams of Carito just behind, just sneaking in there. Now you can see Elite Risks. Two drivers in one turn. It would be an astounding feat to do into the next turn now. Elite Risks covers two drivers in two turns. He is really going to be hunting. He's really going to be thirsty to get this first place back, and he's going to be hunting down FGE next, who really has not had a good race at all.
Indeed. And if he can keep this pace up for the next 10 laps, he could be back up there. He really could. But my prediction of a trio dub is looking sweet. So what are your predictions, actually? Let's have your predictions.
My predictions at the start were, I did waffle on a little bit because I didn't want to disrespect Weeksy, but I said that they would have a stinker. And it's kind of correct. Weeksy hasn't had a great Grand Prix. And he'll probably be the first to tell you that. And Stocky in P4, he is, of course, ahead in the championship. And he would be going in. I mean, he wouldn't be leading by far, not by any means. It would still be extremely tight between the two going into the next one. But damn, of course, the amount of pace between these two is astonishing, as now Karito and Ragnar going head to head here. Luckily, no spin or crash in that same turn, as we saw from Scruffy Dub. But my predictions was that Stocky would win the race and that Weeksy would have a stinker, and it is falling into place. But I don't know if Stocky's going to be able to get the victory over Tria. Tria is just unstoppable right now.
Yes, yes, indeed. And you know what? I honestly still think that Trio could go on and win every single race that we have left in this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, attendance permitting. But could Crazy Griefer have a little look here down the straight?
He could, and we're going to go on board with. Well, you're probably going to go on board with him already, but
I
I
already
will.
have.
In my view, here we go. He's looking to go down the inside into the second turn here, really just disrupting Tria's pace. Tria looking for a better exit, doesn't get what they were looking for. Crazy Griefer in P1. Weeksy looking to keep Stocky at bay, looking to stop Stocky. Keeping a bay towards himself. Weeksy could be hunting down Tria next. Good overtake from Crazy Griefer. It's just what he needed. Just doing his job really as a driver there. And now you can see Elite Risks looking for an overtake on FGE. Getting very close here up the order. The Alpine really like a sitting duck towards Elite Risks. And I'm sure he'll look for the overtake very soon on that Alpine. But we're still going to go on board with him. If you don't mind that, Josh, onto the straight. We'll see if he's going to be able to get the overtake into turn 1. We haven't seen much overtakes into turn 1. In fact, Elite Risks has done the only overtake, into turn 1, which was at the very start of the Grand Prix, where he initially took P1 in the first place. Crazy Griefer spun.
Crazy Griefer has spun.
Crazy Griefer.
And he's down the order, but that
aye.
now, that gets him out of the way. Which we are now looking at a Stocky trio, Stocky and Henkaz, top 3.
Indeed, I mean, those three drivers, absolutely astonishing at the top of the game. Maybe not so for Weeksy with those 3 seconds. But, I mean, we're really...
We need to show Weeksy some love and appreciation here.
I know, I love the driver. I love him. I mean,
Really?
He's an incredible driver. Yes, I do.
Because the last
I
29
love
laps
him
plus
as well.
short qualifying haven't said that.
Well, I mean, I don't have to express my love to him every single time I come on commentary. I mean, if he's having a bad race, and I feel like, FD, by the way, he's having a bad race, that's for sure. Down into P11, and Crazy Griefer flies past.
And is it last? Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Elite Race's fault. Who knows?
It was no, it wasn't.
Ranga DNFs.
DNF. Where did you do that? What's he done? Is that?
Looks like he's... Treat, no! Oh! Do you know what that is? Honestly, that's the third.
Speechless.
That's the third week in a row. That must be what is that? That's the third race in a row that commentators curse. That's done a madness.
Oh.
No! Where did
My
he clear
word.
DNF? Turn. Oh, he turned one it. Right. Elite Risks is back on the podium.
Speechless.
And
Well,
if he gets past Stocky, he can win.
Yeah, if he has to build those 3 seconds, which is very unlikely to do, to be honest, with Stocky's pace, incredible pace. But Weeksy also having that incredible pace, maybe, just maybe. Yeah, it's actually so sad. Trio just.
Oh, do you know what? I honestly thought that the winning streak will continue. But Ranga actually looked like he did it coming out of the final corner. It looked like here he may have just gotten too much on that curb and spun it into the wall or whatever. But devastating stuff for Tria as they DNF from the race.
Well, this brings Elite Risks right back into the equation
Really
now.
does now.
He's P4. He's still hunting down for P1. He's got and I don't want to say it, but an easy opponent to Tria there, to Weeksy.
Ooh.
It is true though. I mean, Tria, astonishing behind the wheel. So is Weeksy, but I mean, you be honest with yourself. Who's better, Tria or Weeksy?
Tria.
Exactly. So
Oh, I thought it was
he's got an easier opponent to face, and is he going to be able to get past Weeksy? I'm not too sure. But the real question is he going to disrupt the pace of Stocky, and is there going to be a battle between the two? If there is, then maybe that creates a 3-second gap. but it is quite unlikely to see it happen. Maybe Henkaz will disrupt Stocky. We will have to see. There's a reason why these drivers are in podium positions, and there's a reason why they're even here in FRR, and that's because they have that raw talent and pace. We'll see if they can showcase it here in the last few laps of this Austrian Grand Prix.
Yes, indeed. And Weeksy could try and fight for this win, but you know, he will obviously want to pull. Ideally, he'd want to pull 3 seconds, but he would want to pull. You know, not. He would want to pull ahead of the other drivers behind, so maybe he can move up the grid in terms of positions. Obviously, this 3 second time penalty would probably spit him out mid-pack, I'd imagine. Yeah, it looks sort of maybe JJ around that area. So you know, there's two ways he could go with this. He could fight for this win, and he obviously wouldn't get it, but he could try and get it on track, or he could just stay out of it really and just try and keep himself sort of mid-pack if he can.
This is not a situation that Weeksy would have wanted
It's not a situation I wanted Tria to go into, but you know, devastated.
Unfortunately, it just is what happens.
Commentator's curse is ridiculous.
Honestly,
like, it really.
Anthony now Tria.
Commentator's curse is an awful, cruel mistress.
It truly is.
We can never get Moser with commentator's curse, though, can we? We haven't been able to get Moser yet.
You know, funny about that. It's all you, that one. Moser, you slate him for that. I haven't said anything about you this Grand Prix. It's not even tier 2.
It's
and
not.
You're already talking about him. You are obsessed. You are obsessed.
Love
obsessed.
Him. Huge fan of his work.
I mean, he does do a lot for FRR Recap, which you go ahead and watch. Of course, on our YouTube. Same username as our Twitch. So just type in Front Row Racing F1. And there, bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada bing, you'll be able to watch all the recap and all of these races posted on there. Of course, if you miss out on any of the other races, by the way, in terms of Monza, then you can go watch them as well. As now we are watching Weeksy puts full throttle here. Elite Risk with an absolutely astonishing start very early on, getting very close to Henkaz into the first turn. Surely he'll look for the move. He will not. Oh, he's going to stay behind. He's going to look for the second turn. Surely he'll be able to get it onto this straight right now. Stocky, that gap just diplomating a little bit. Crazy Griefer spinning down the order. Elite Risk going to the inside here of Henkaz into turn 2. Is he going to be able to get it? Is there going to be too much of a battle so we can't get close to Stocky? No. Henkaz just went a little bit too wide on that turn, and it allowed Elite Risk to fly through without any trouble. And now he's gapping himself to Henkaz. And Elite Risks will be trying to hunt down Stocky. And, well, it could get very spicy here in the last 3 laps of this Austrian Grand Prix. I mean, it's not already been spicy enough. As you can see, Top Gun getting very close to FGE. Side by side, they go into that turn in Sector 2. Crazy Grief is out of the Grand Prix. You can see JJ here getting close to Henkaz. Henkaz falling down the order. And really, can JJ get the overtake? I think he will. He had a strong showing in qualifying. He hasn't had a bad day today in Austria. He's able to get the overtake on Henkaz. Henkaz had 3 seconds anyways. Stocky's 1 second behind Weeksy, or hovering around that 1 second mark. Weeksy has had the much better starts off of the safety car. And maybe is that just going to feed into a potential gap of 3 seconds? We'll have to see. As Carito now looking for a move on Henkaz. Henkaz is really having a stinker on the restarts here. But the dive from Carito, he couldn't get it done. The man with 100 league wins, he couldn't be able to finish a move off there against Henkaz. Still 9/10 between Stocky and Weeksy. That's all work separated. Now it goes to 1 second. These last 2 laps has to be an absolute stinker here, but Elite Risk going very slow. JJ flies past the Mercedes. I don't know what he was doing there. Do you have any information on that for me, Josh?
No, but I can tell you something very exciting. Carito got the move done.
Oh my, he got the move done.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened there with Elite Risk though, but that it could he might have just he might have just thrown away a podium. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think he may have, but actually, oh no, my podium's not correct. Actually, do you know what? I did say JJ to get a podium.
He did,
I
and he's
did
actually doing
predict
a really
podium.
good job.
I predict Trier will win. I think I predicted a JJ and Henkaz podium. That was off qualifying. So I now predict that we're going to have Stocky first, JJ second, and Elite in third.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily mean that. I mean, it's not
Don't spoil
a
my thunder.
prediction that's. I mean, it's not a prediction that is out of the ordinary. I mean, it's probably the most likely thing to happen, to be honest. Is you can just see Karito and Top Gun here. If you are watching this little battle,
Oh
it's
no.
been going on for a little bit of some time, and these two going side by side into some not overtaking or corners at all. They're really going at it, these two, and eventually Top Gun comes out on top. FGE with another 3 seconds. He's had a real stinker today in Austria. He's really going to have to try and improve on that in the upcoming races of this season. JJ trying to hunt and hack down on Stocky's pace. Elite Risks looking for an overtake on JJ himself. But now that we are on the last lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, let's cover all the things that has happened in what has been such a mad race, and maybe just a little bit more drama happening here. Elite Risks down the inside of JJ. Right there, right now, going side by side on the exit, and JJ's got the better exit. But Stocky, a man who was hunted down by many races ago by Weeksy, and Weeksy eventually, at the end of Zandvoort, was able to get a 1 point gap to the Ferrari man. But in this Grand Prix, it's not been what Weeksy has wanted. You know, he's got a 3 seconds. He hasn't been totally on pace, and Stocky really just sticking behind, and it's all that he needed to do to win this Grand Prix. Stocky takes top in the standings as he wins in the Austrian Grand Prix. Astonishing drive from Stocky. He stuck close. My prediction was correct with a with a Ferrari coming out on top, and Stocky reigns supreme in Austria.
What a race. Weeksy finishing in fourth. Actually, a very good weekend for Aston Martin. In terms of points, an incredible weekend. JJ getting that podium, which I did predict at the beginning. But can we just talk about someone who I think has actually had the worst luck today? Crazy Griefer.
Real. Oh, Crazy Griefer.
No, Crazy Griefer is up in second place. He did have a 3 seconds, I think, and then didn't finish the race. But obviously, you know, my mantra, DNF, I will cry over that for many weeks to come, as we see the Ferrari slightly overdoing it on the podium there, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, a familiar spot for Stocky to stand on. He hasn't been able to stand on top spot on the podium for quite some time now, but he's finally been able to do it, and he's finally built a sustainable gap to Weeksy in the championship after this race. Weeksy finishing in fourth. It's not what he wanted going into this Austrian Grand Prix. It's all because of those 3 seconds. That's all that that's all that needed for Stocky to win today. As now I will run you through the final order of what happened in today's Austrian Grand Prix. Stocky finished P1, the Ferrari man, winning today's Austrian Grand Prix, with the Canadian JJ sticking behind in P2, Elite Risks in P3, Weeksy in P4 because of that 3 second time penalty. Brad in P5, Top Gun P6, Carito P7, Henkaz P8, FGE P9, Crazy Griefer P10, Tria P11 after crashing out, Ragnar P12, Scruffy Dub P13, Ransgamer HD P14. Thank you all for watching today's entertaining Austrian Grand Prix. I've been Harrison, your lead commentator, and Josh being my co-commentator. Thank you so much, Josh, for today, and thank you all for watching. Good night.
See you tomorrow, tier 2. Yeah, you'll be there. I know you will. You're good people. Bye.